Walking aid is an assistive device for patients who have body impairment, and it can improve their walking pattern, balance, and safety.
Hi everyone!
We are students physiotherapists from UiTM Puncak Alam. In this video, we will be sharing about one of the walking aid, which is walking frame, or also known as walker.
Generally, walking frame is usually used by the elderly to aid with stability and safety as they have weakness or pain around their lower limb, such as knee pain, weakness of thigh muscle, and etc. These are a few types of walking frame. There are foldable walking frame, reciprocal walking frame, and non-foldable walking frame. Foldable walking frame is more lightweight, travel-friendly, and easy to store. However, it is high tendency to get stuck and more expensive. This is how we use the foldable walking frame. Firstly, push the lock button and gently fold the frame inwards. Next is the reciprocal walking frame. The advantages is to provide support through the right walking process, more flexible, allows quicker and less awkward gait, and it is suitable for people with weak upper limb. However, it is not suitable with people who has weak balancing. Next is for the non-foldable walking frame. It is to provide better stability, suitable for indoor use. However, it might take up more space. Next is the components of a basic foldable walking frame. There is a folding button, one pair of sponge holder, double bar support, 4 quantity of anti-slip rubber base, and a pair of thickened stainless steel and 4 sticks of adjustment height levels. Next is the demonstration on how to measure the walking frame based on the patient's height. In the video shown above, the patient's height is not parallel with the handle of the frame. The frame needs to be adjusted to the optimum height for the patient. To adjust the height, press the adjustment button upward or downward to the desired height. Make sure there is the click sound to show the level is secured. Once the height has been adjusted, ask the patient to stand at the walking frame to get the correct posture. This is the demonstration on how to use the walking frame from a position of sitting to standing. In a sitting position, ask your patient to smoothly scoot forward their legs until the leg reach the floor. Hand of the weaker side must hold the walking frame and the other hand is used to create momentum. Make sure the weak leg is straightened. Using the strong side of the body, push outward your body together along with the strong hand. Next is the demonstration movement from standing to sitting. Using the strength of upper limb, lift the walking frame forward and lean the body to create a momentum to move forward. Continue moving to the chair position. Make a slow turn step by step towards the chair. Before sitting, make sure the chair touches the back of the leg. Using the strength of upper limb, hold the chair for support and slowly lower down the body. The weak leg must be straightened to ease the movement.
Types of weight bearing. Throughout this video, the affected side is the right leg, and the therapist must always be next to the patient's weak side throughout the patient's walk. For the first type of weight bearing is full weight bearing. For these types, the walking frame must go first and then followed by the leg one by one. The second types of weight bearing is partial weight bearing. For partial weight bearing, the walking frame must go first and then followed by the weak leg and then followed by the strong leg. And for the rest of the video that will be shown after this also have the same steps of movement like I have been explaining here. This is non-weight bearing, which means that the patient cannot put any weight on their injured leg for a period of time. Next is weight bearing as tolerated, which means that the patient may support 50% to 100% of their body weight on the extremity. Lastly is toe-touch weight bearing, which means that the patient toes may rest on the ground while sitting or standing, but the patient cannot put any weight through the leg at any time. However, before the patient start walking, please make sure that the patient have enough space and safe surrounding throughout the path, which can prevent the patient from slipping or falling.
Going up the ramp for full weight bearing. For full weight bearing, when going up the ramp, it is best for patients to take small and steady steps to ensure better stability and to avoid the risk of falling backwards. If the patient is able to walk, avoiding the wheelchair would help in preventing muscle wasting and would help maintain the patient's upper body strength. Now let's go down the ramp. The same principles are applied when going down the ramp using a walking frame. Patients must take small steps to make sure they are stable. Quick steps may lead to a higher risk of patients falling down and slipping face front, and we absolutely do not want that to happen. Going up the ramp for non-weight bearing. For non-weight bearing patients, going up the ramp is a bit more challenging and dangerous. Therefore, they should always take one step at a time, and it is even better if therapists or caregivers can be present to stand behind them as they walk. Now let's watch how to go down the ramp for non-weight bearing. So for non-weight bearing, the same principles apply and patients' safety should always be prioritized. Do's and don'ts when using a walking frame. Patients should never lean on the walking frame, whether to the front or to the sides, to avoid falling over, and patients should not rest their body weight onto the frame. Next, patients should avoid turning in one go or too quickly, as the movement is not very stable and they have the risk of hurting their spine due to the twisting motion. They should always follow the 3-point turning method. Not only that, patients shouldn't stand too far away from the walking frame to avoid the body from slipping, but the distance shouldn't be too near either, otherwise it will be hard to move due to the limited walking space. Next, the feet shouldn't be wider than the base of the walking frame, as they might trip the patient. This one is very important. Never ever let the patient swing on the walking frame. Lastly, the swing through movement should also be avoided, as it has the tendency to lift the legs of the frame off the ground and increase the risk of falling. Now, let's take a look at the safety and precautions when using a walking frame. First, make sure the folding button is present to lock the walking frame in place. Then make sure that the sponge handles are in good condition so patient can support themselves comfortably. Then, make sure that none of the anti-slip rubber base are missing. Patients should never use a broken unit like this one. This frame has no folding button and cannot be locked in place, so it's very unstable and dangerous and should never be used.
These are the list of the references that we use in this video. That's all from us. Thank you for watching.
Bye.